what are the challenges which are going to come when India grows from being where we are today to being a Viksit Bharat? Or what are the challenges more precisely from a $4.5 trillion economy to when we'll be 25 trillion, 30 trillion, 40 trillion, and maybe more? What are the three things, to put it precisely so we can have a very sharp 2 or 3 things which you think will be the challenges that we will face from a global scenario perspective?
देखिए, when India rises to 25, 30, 40 trillion dollars, the world won't clap politely. It will rearrange itself. Arnab, 3 big challenges will hit us. First, jobs and skills at India scale. We will be a young, ambitious nation in an AI, automation, robotics age. If we don't convert a youth bulge into a skills bulge, we end up with an anger bulge. The world cannot stop India, but India can stop India by underskilling its own people. Another angle is now execution and institutions. Intent we have in abundance. Implementation is where empires slip. Can contracts be trusted, courts be timely, cities be livable, regulation be predictable? What is the use of a $40 trillion dream if your institutional plumbing leaks trust every day? Finally, strategic juggling in a weaponized world. Tariffs, sanctions, rare earths, data flows, supply chains, everything is becoming a weapon. We'll buy discounted Russian oil while protecting ties with America, manage an assertive China while stabilizing the neighborhood, and still keep strategic autonomy. In that circus, one wrong tilt and you don't just lose trade, you lose leverage. In simple words, if we turn our scale into skills, our democracy into delivery, and our autonomy into leverage, India won't just join the big league, India will set the league.
So you've put 3 points out here. I find 2 of them predictable. I agree with what you've said on supply chain security and material resilience, because I believe that critical supply chains for semiconductors, lithium, rare earths, ladies and gentlemen, high-grade steel are all dominated by a few countries. China controls over 70% of rare earths. Taiwan dominates semiconductors, and you have cobalt. Now, given this concentration of critical supply chains, tell me, how can we work proactively to securing alternative sources and building domestic capability in such a way that in a short term, we reduce our dependence, our strategic dependence on certain existing critical supply chains so that they cannot be weaponized against us? Let's hear it from you.
Here's the short take, Arnab. In this game, de-risking beats decoupling. First, to lock in diversified supply. Long-term offtake deals with Australia, Canada, Africa, and Latin America for lithium, cobalt, and rare earths. Equity stakes in mines, joint ventures with like-minded countries, so we're not begging spot markets when a crisis hits. If China controls over 70% today, our answer has to be multi-continent, not just non-China. What people forget is we don't need to own every mineral. We need reliable clubs. Think OPEC in reverse, buyer alliances that negotiate security of supply, not just price. Second, build processing and refining at home, not just mining. Raw ore is cheap. Refined materials are where the power is. Amend mining laws for private and FDI participation in critical minerals. Fast-track clearances for strategic projects. Co-develop refining tech with Japan, South Korea, Europe. If we ship out ore and import magnets, we've learned nothing. So tell me, if we can run UPI for payments, why can't we run a similar public-private backbone for critical minerals?